Hey everybody, welcome back. This is DS Yvonne at reprogrammingmind.com, and today I thought I would talk about the Dr. Joe Dispenza book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Now, in the past, I have done the reviews for the chapters, and it seems to have got a lot of thank yous and subscribers and thumbs ups and thumbs downs, and I appreciate all of that engagement. It's nice to know that people are out there watching these things and that some of you are finding it useful. So thank you very much for that. So now what I thought I'd do today is something a little bit different, and that is to sum up this whole book about being able to break the habit of being yourself and becoming a better version of you. I thought I would sum up that whole process just as shortly as I could, just to kind of save you a bit of time. So really what the premise is about is finding out what it is your ideal self would be like. All right, so imagine yourself with all that health and all that wealth and whatever else it is that would really let you know that you'd arrived. Okay, and then imagine that you had all of that stuff yesterday, and then imagine that you are feeling grateful about all of that transformation today. So then while you're feeling in this state of gratitude, then you'll have some idea of what it would feel like to occupy that state of being, right? To occupy that emotional stance of being in that ideal version of you. Now, the reason this is important is because by being in that emotional state, you're actually able to, in some regards, impregnate your future, because you are taking that feeling, this state of being, and you're, in a sense, plopping it out into that quantum field so that it can ripple towards you while you are moving towards it, right? And then this is how you're able to be breaking the habit of being yourself, because as those connections to that past and those old ways of being are no longer firing and wiring together as often, you'll have newer states of being that are going to be coming online, right? Newer feelings, right? So it all comes down to being able to create that brand new feeling that you haven't felt before. And yes, this can be a challenge because we're trapped in our own bodies all the time, but this is what the meditations are for, right? You get into that theta brainwave state so that your brain is more apt to being programmable, if you will. And then when you're in that state, you're imagining yourself being grateful for achieving what it is that you'd want to achieve. All right, so now let's hear from Dr. Joe Dispenza as he starts to talk more about the value of experiencing things in the future as if they were now, and the benefit of being in that emotional state of gratitude to be able to go from that victim mentality to that creator mindset.
Well, I can. I think that we only accept, believe, and surrender to thoughts that are equal to our emotional state. We never accept, believe, and surrender to any thoughts that are not equal to our emotional state. And accepting, believing, and surrendering, as I said, is your level of suggestibility. So then a person can say, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, with their 5% of their conscious mind, and the 95% that's been programmed and hardwired and conditioned subconsciously is in a different program. It's saying, I'm in lack, I'm unhealthy, I'm unworthy. The thought never makes it past the brainstem to stimulate the body. So then we don't pray in our work to have our prayers answered. We get up from our meditations as if our prayers are already answered, which means then, if you teach a person how to regulate and sustain a state of gratitude for 40 minutes, and our students, many of them can create heart coherence for an hour and sustain it. They know how to do it. They're in a state of gratitude, in a state of appreciation, in a state of thankfulness, in a state of inspiration, in love with life, a joy for existence. We want them to be able to do that. Well, if you're in a state of gratitude, when you give thanks for something, or you're in a state of gratitude, it usually means you're getting something. So when you get something, when you receive something, that's when you give thanks and you feel gratitude because you got something and it's fulfilled some lack that you didn't have. So then, if you're giving thanks ahead of the actual experience, your body, as the unconscious mind, does not know the difference between an experience in your life that creates an emotion and an emotion that you can create by thought alone. So the body's believing that it already has exactly what a person is intending. So then if the person is in a state of gratitude, they're going to accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts equal to their emotional state, and they're going to begin to program their autonomic nervous system into a new future. So Of course, when we're in lack, we're in separation, we're in duality, it's difficult because our senses are fooling us into believing we don't have it. We're separate from it. So that's why meditation is so important. We get a person in these elevated states, and they got to be able to sustain them. They got to trade anger for gratitude, or compassion. They have to trade fear for strength or love or courage. And so then when they start expressing and feeling gratitude, it's not just gratitude, it's that whole package of emotions that go along with gratitude. So when the person starts to move into a state of gratitude, they believe what they're intending they already have. So now, think about this. You have a trauma, you have a crisis, you have a betrayal. The moment you feel the emotion from that crisis or betrayal or trauma, you feel differently inside of you. You pay attention to what caused it outside of you, and that event creates a memory. So then the memory becomes embossed neurologically in your brain. The emotion then signals the body, and the brain and body are in the past. So then, when the person can regulate a state of gratitude, they're changing and elevating their energy and emotional state. They'll accept, believe, and surrender to the intentions equal to that emotional state. And in addition, if they're in that energetic state, they're in a state of receiving. Because the longer you stay in gratitude, the more you believe you already have it. So the art then is to get up from your meditation and to maintain that modified state of mind and body your entire day. That means if you do, something unusual should happen in your life. There should be feedback in your environment. It may not be the big experience, but you're getting information from the field that's letting you know to keep doing the work. So then the moment you start getting these synchronicities and serendipities, the energy from the coincidence then causes you to believe it's possible even more. So then you use that energy to create the next experience. And of course, we go from victim to creator. So we use the model of gratitude as one of the key emotional states because gratitude is the ultimate state of receiving. So then when a person's in a state of gratitude and they're marrying that with their intent, the heart produces a strong magnetic field. Their field is beginning to enhance. They're connecting to something greater. They're laying the intent, the thought on that energy. And now they're broadcasting new energy into the field. And of course, whatever you broadcast into the field is your experiment with destiny. So then they're broadcasting information into the field. And of course, when there's a vibrational match between their energy and that future potential, they don't have to go anywhere to get it. It's going to come to them in some unusual way. And of course, that's the art, to not be seduced by our senses, to not be seduced by the survival emotions, because the survival emotions draw from our visible field of energy and turn it into chemistry. And the field around our body shrinks. Now we feel more like matter and less like energy. So then getting people for 4 days or 5 days in a retreat and getting them going and getting them past their problems and their ex-husbands and their finances and all that stuff, once they get beyond the emotions of all those things and they're able to regulate internal states, they're going to do some pretty uncommon things. And of course, they're going to walk back in their life with their brain and body connected to a future instead of to a past. And then, the magic starts to happen.
Terrific. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you got some useful information from it. And for those of you that are looking to get more of the meditation audios, I'll leave a link here to Dr. Joe Dispenza's store where he has links to his books and products and meditation audios. All right, so thank you again so much for your time. This is D.S. Ivan at reprogrammingmind.com. Bye for now.